Hello, my name is Jose Solis, and I'm here today to present to you the Electronics Design Lab final report of the robot bartender. This class was taken under Professor Pedro Julian of the Johns Hopkins University Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. This was a semester-long project that we did for Electronics Design Lab in the hopes of putting together electronics, other kinds of computer software, and mechanical problem solving in order to solve a problem. In this case, our solution to the problem is a robot bartender. The problem being that sometimes people might find it difficult to personally mix together different kinds of drinks. It causes lots of space issues, and so we wanted to create a robot that's able to not only dispense a certain number of drinks to you in different fashions and have a certain unique design aspect to it, but also is able to be interactive. So this is our robot bartender. As you can see, one places the cup here, and it goes around this post in order to serve the drinks for you. It houses 6 different liquids found at the top of the robot, wherein each of these liquids containers are connected to these shot pours underneath. These shot pours contain exactly 1 shot of alcohol or liquid into this container before being dispensed, once this lever has been pushed upwards. And then it only dispenses the liquid in this container and not the rest of the drink above. So this particular robot bartender allows for manual pour. If one were to just come up to any one of these and push upwards, they're able to dispense the liquid. Or they could place their cup here and select a certain drink, whether it just be a shot or a mixed drink, using this as our recipe visual user interface, wherein one person could select using these buttons, see what kind of liquids are inside the drink that you want to order before activating it with this button. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So this bartender has a motor found underneath the base here that will allow this entire base top to spin. As you can see, it's removed or allowed to move around here. And it has this linear actuator that works once it's under the right location. In order for it to know what location it's at, we look at this switch right here. As this entire base moves, this switch is being tripped by multiple location markers found along the way. These location markers are found at specific points along the base in order for the robot to know exactly where this ring is located under. So if it were to be over here, tripping that switch, we know that it's under this particular shot pour, and if it were one behind, we know that it'd be under this particular shot pour. And that's how the robot knows which drink will be corresponding to it. So because of a little issue with this wheel that we have underneath, unfortunately we won't be able to see it completely work independently in action, but I can show you how the linear actuator works. If we were to select, for example, a shot of vodka and we activate it, the linear actuator moves upwards, activating the shot pour and allowing the liquid that would be contained inside there to fall into the cup itself. Over here, for the sake of user interface so that you could see how the robot is processing all this, we have an Arduino landscape wherein we have our robot, who we've named Tom, basically list out what kind of order you made, list out the ingredients so you know what's in it. In this case, it knows that there's 1 shot of vodka, and it'll move to different locations. In this case, vodka being the first drink location, it stays in place before pouring the shot. And then if you were just to press the same button again, it could pour another shot for you, and it knows that you ordered it. What I can show you is what happens when you order a different kind of drink, let's say a mixed drink. Let's go for something like rum and coke, right? Okay, so once this button's activated, we have our motor trying to spin. Okay, over here on the Arduino landscape, it knows that you chose the rum and coke. It lists out here which locations it needs to be at. In this case, 3 is the rum, 4 is the coke, and it'll go to the rum and get a shot from there one time, go to the Coke, go there 3 different times. So it says right here that's moving to 3. If we were to press this button here, we see that the current location switches. Once it's at 3, it dispenses the shot. Goes back down. We wanted to pour one more shot, so it wants to move to 4. Let's trip the switch one more time. We're going to activate it. It knows that it's current location 4, and then it pours again, and it'll do this for another 2 or 3 more times before finishing and returning to start. In this case, we'll also show what happens when it goes to start. But in the meantime, I'll talk a little bit more about the electronics that are found underneath. Here we find a microcontroller, an Arduino, that's able to house and store all this information, activating not only the wheel, the stepper motor, but the linear actuator as well. The Arduino itself is good for performing singular actions, such as like moving a stepper motor first or individually, then moving a linear actuator next. It doesn't have to refer to any like internet to get its or like Bluetooth capability, although it is capable in order to perform these actions. But that is why we decided to go with an Arduino, because it's pretty straightforward. It's very reliable, and there's like a whole library of functions that it's able to acquire. So now that it's poured the mixed drink here that we've seen, it knows that it needs to return. It's completed its drink and it wants to return to start. So we activate the switch a few more times. 6, 1. We've returned to start and it's stopped. And it's now waiting for the next order that this bartender is. So let's say we choose something else. In this case, just another tequila shot. Activate. Tequila shot's moving to 2. Activate pouring the shot. Cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now it just wants to return to location number 1, and there it is, and it stopped. Let me just show you this little logo that we made up here, Tom the Barbot. And this is our robot bartender.